Hey, what's up? Teacher Pablo. And well, I am a teacher, an ESL teacher. I teach English for beginners, through this channel. But I decided to do something a little different. Well, I decided to use my skills as an English speaker to share with the international community things about my country. It doesn't matter how hard you try to run from it, the place where you come from says a lot about you. And well, since I can communicate with so many people, given the fact that English is the international language, I decided to clarify some big misconceptions that are, around about my country. Now, here for you, 5 things you probably don't know about Brazil. Check it out. Well, thing number 1 that you need to know is that, well, Brazilians don't have a face. You can't really tell what Brazilians look like. I mean, it's not as simple as you think. You have to remember this. We are a colony, a former colony, of European countries. For example, did you know that in Rio Grande do Sul, which is a state located in the south of the country, there are some communities that they only speak German? Yeah, they were colonized by Germans. And these people, they went to these really remote places and they kept a lot of the German culture there. And it's really hard to think about it, when you think of Brazil. The last thing you could imagine is a German colony here in which people only speak German and they're pretty much German, like a lot of blue-eyed blonde people, but they do exist in our country. Also, big cities like São Paulo, for example, they still up to this day, they receive immigrants from everywhere. So, well, all of this, this melting pot, as the Americans like to call, it results in interactions, and interactions lead to, interactions, and these interactions lead to people and a beautiful diversity that our country has. Of course, we're still dealing with a lot of problems because of all of this history, like racism, some xenophobia, like as crazy as it sounds, But I think that the matrix of the Brazilian people, as a whole is very beautiful. And I think that once we get to, make peace with all of our process, we are going to have something beautiful to share with the whole world, I believe that most of our potential comes from this scenario, a lot of different cultures coexisting. And right now, it's not a very good moment, because like a lot of bad things are coming to surface, and they should, and we are going to have to power through this. But I don't know, I'm kind of hopeful about the outcome in the future, So there you go. First thing you didn't know about Brazil, we don't actually have a face. You cannot really tell what a Brazilian looks like. Fact number 2, it's not always hot in Brazil. Well, I'm pretty sure that when you think about Brazil, when you picture this country, you picture like beaches, and like a beautiful coastline and blue skies and all that kind of stuff. But did you know that in some places in Brazil, it actually snows? Today, it's July 6th, right? So it's the 6th of July, and it's winter in Brazil. We are located in the South Hemisphere. So, it's winter here. In my city, Salvador, it's never actually winter. It gets a little chilly sometimes, and a little bit windy and very rainy, but it's not really cold. I'm using this because, I'm in the office, and the air conditioner is on. Yeah, but in my city, it's not like that. But remember this, Brazil is a continental country, Like most of our states, they are as big as many countries in Europe. For example, my state, the state that I was born in, Bahia, we are as big as France. The smallest state in Brazil, Sergipe, it's as big as Israel. So we are continental. And we have this, absolutely absurd geographic distribution. And a huge portion of the country is actually located below the tropics. So you have very well-defined seasons, unlike another huge part of the country because, everything is huge here. This winter is actually being quite cold in the south portion of the country, it's snowing there. Some countries, the temperature has dropped up to -7 Celsius. I have no idea of this value in Fahrenheit because, well, I missed that class in my English course, and I suck at converting. Seriously. So, yeah, -7 Celsius degrees. That's really cold. Well, it's probably something that you wouldn't really consider as a Brazilian trait. Like, oh, what do you think about Brazil? Oh, I love the winter in Brazil. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you would never say something like this, but it is true. Well, it's a little bit polemic, what I'm about to say, but Anitta, which I deeply respect, doesn't represent Brazilian culture. Well, I didn't say that it doesn't represent like any of Brazilian culture. Remember, I just said that Brazil is like huge. So you have to expect that a place of such proportions have a lot of different cultural manifestations. And Anitta and bossa nova and all of this music, it's pretty much a part of the southeastern part of the country. It's not like we don't like it. I am from the Northeast. I forgot to say that. It's not that we don't like it or we don't relate to it at all, but it's not what fundamentally represents our culture. We'll make a special video about Northeastern cultural manifestations in Brazil, things you never heard about unless you have been here before. But bottom line is, Anitta, girl from Rio, Garota de Ipanema, girl from Ipanema. All of this is a representation of the southern part of the country, which is the wealthiest and dominant part of the country. Therefore, my culture, the Northeastern culture or the Northern culture, of the country sometimes is erased when it comes to international projection. This is one of the reasons why I decided to start making this video. Videos like this, because it's an opportunity for me to share with everyone around the globe things that you probably don't know about my country, you have no access to, and I'm very happy to do so. Fact number 4, what you didn't know about Brazil until now. Well, I live in Salvador, Salvador, as we say it in Portuguese. And it's a beautiful city. I wasn't born here. I was actually born in the countryside, of Bahia, my state, the state I was born in. But I've been living in Salvador for like half of my life. And let me put it this way. My hometown, Jacobina, which is a beautiful place, is like my mother. And Salvador is the woman I'm married to. I fell in love with the city. I learned to love all of its streets and everything. And one thing that you have to know about my city is that it is the most African city outside of Africa. Yes, the African influence in my city is more present than anywhere else in the world. Other than Africa itself. It happened because, well, during the colonial times, Salvador was the capital city of the colony. It was where the Portuguese Empire had its, kings and everything, and all of those people, living here. Therefore, it was an important economic center during the slavery period, And, well, that, of course, left marks in our society. Some of them are not as good, We're still working on repairing all of the problems that came from this. But, man, as someone who's been living here and who's been adopted by this city, I have to say that it's overwhelming to see all of these cultural traits, And it's just unbelievable to witness this. If you have a chance, visit Salvador, And I think I'm going to start charging money from City Hall. And I'm not just saying that. This place is magical and it's beautiful and it's unlike anywhere else I've seen in the world. Unique. If you come here, you're going to understand what I'm talking about. Fact number 5, what you didn't know about Brazil so far. Well, this is something that is not very good to say, but unfortunately, only 5% of people in Brazil declare themselves as bilingual, like they can actually communicate in a foreign language. And this is bad, because given the potential of this country to export culture and even technology, I think it's an obstacle that we have to overcome, in order to make Brazil reach its full potential. I always say that. I always bring up Brazil's potential because I am helplessly in love with my country. I know there's a lot of problems here, things that we need to work on. We have we have a lot of things to fix. And the perspective, like at least the immediate perspective, is not the best of the perspectives. But I think that all of this that I told you, it's like I chose all of these characteristics of Brazil because I think it says a lot about who we are, and what we can achieve. It says a lot about what we haven't achieved yet, of course. Uh, but it also shows that we can do so much better than we're doing right now. And I am helplessly hopeful about the future of this place. I don't intend to keep on living here. I don't intend my daughter to grow up here because it's it's a bit selfish of me to say that, but I think that, well, we are a work in progress as a country, and I think she deserves a better place, like to grow up in. But my heart will always be here, man. You know, wherever I am, I want to see this country flourish. And it's very good to be here saying things to a huge variety of people. I don't know if I only have like 50 views for this video and I get to, connect with these 50 people or even 10 people that didn't know these things about Brazil, I think I'm going to consider myself very successful because we need to speak up for our country, you know? And like I said, not many people can do it, at least not this way. And I think it's a responsibility that I have, to show a different side of my country, not through any stereotypes or what you would expect to see, in any aspect. Brazil has changed a lot over these last years, and I don't know what's going to happen from now on. I seriously don't know. But I do know one thing. If there's one place that holds potential to be a reference to, I don't know, man, to mankind, it's Brazil. And I think I don't want to die without seeing my country reach its full potential, And I can't help but get a little emotional when it comes to that. We're going through a lot. We're still figuring out a lot of things. But I do think we're going to make it. And, well, if you like this video, I'm asking you to subscribe. Just drop a like, please. And every Thursday, there's going to be a video in English talking about my country, things you never heard about. And I'm going to show you artists, cultural manifestations, and curiosities about this place that I'm helplessly in love with. And just like every great love story, I have a lot of things that drive me crazy, about Brazil. But that's part of the process. If you can hear me now, it means you stayed, throughout the whole video. And I'm very thankful for that. See ya.